Hello, welcome to the course SJPHY2C02 Optics, Laser and Electronics. Contents of today's lecture is taken from Principles of Electronics by V.K. Mehta. We will continue to discuss topics from Module 4, Electronics. In the last class, we discussed about three basic logic gates: OR gate, AND gate and NOT gate, and we mentioned that using these three basic gates, you can construct any other digital circuits. In today's class, let's discuss about some of the important combinational logic gates. First one is NAND gate. As the name suggests, NAND gate is a combination of AND gate and NOT gate, where the output Y prime of an AND gate is connected to the input of a NOT gate. So here you have two inputs A and B. The output of the AND gate is A dot B, and when you feed into the input of a NOT gate, the final output is going to be A dot B inverse. Inverse is also called complement. So the final output of a NAND gate of two inputs A and B is A and B complement. So this is the symbol of a NAND gate. So the small bubble here indicates the inversion. Okay. So from the figure, it's clear that the output of an AND gate is inverse of that of an AND gate. So if you look at the truth table, so let's first write the truth table of AND gate. So 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1. Okay. So here Y prime is the output of the AND gate. Now when you take the inverse of that, you get the output of NAND gate. So inverse of 0 is 1. And so inverse of 0 1, inverse of 0 1, inverse of 1 is 0. So the truth table of a NAND gate is 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 0. So you can see that the output is high if any or all the inputs are low. The Boolean expression for NAND function is Y equal to A dot B inverse, and it's read as Y equals not A and B. Typically, a NAND gate is constructed using two transistors connected in series. So here you have two inputs A and B given here to the base, and there is a resistor to regulate the current flow. Then the load resistance is R2. There is a resistor R2 at the collector circuit. Since we are not taking output across this, I cannot call it as the load. And this is connected to the positive terminal of the battery plus VCC. Okay. So you can see that VCC is connected to the collector of transistor T1, and the emitter of that is connected to collector of the second transistor T2. So these two are in series connection. Okay. Now let's see what happens when both the inputs A and B are low. So when this is low, remember this is an NPN transistor. So P side is connected to a low voltage, which means the emitter base junctions of both T1 and T2 are reverse bias. So when the base is reverse bias, what happens? Base current is 0. Consequently, the transistor will be driven into the cutoff region, and in the cutoff region, transistor doesn't conduct. The output current or collector current is 0. So basically, when A and B are low, both these transistors do not conduct. So what happens? Current originating from this positive terminal, since it cannot flow through the transistor, it will come to the point Y. So you have an high output. So when both A and B are 0, output is high. Now let's see what happens if both A and B are high. So in this case, the base emitter junction is forward bias. So what happens? The transistor conducts perfectly. So as I said in the previous class, the direction of current flow is from collector to the emitter. So current will start from the positive terminal plus VCC. It flows through T1 and T2. Finally, it will end at the ground. So all the current flows through this path. No current comes to the point Y. So the output at Y is going to be low or 0. Now if A is high and B is low, so A equal to 1, B equal to 0. So here what happens, T1 conducts, T2 doesn't conduct, right? But since these two are connected in series, if one of them do not conduct, then current cannot flow from this point to the ground, right? So what happens, all the current will flow to the point Y. Once again you get a high output at Y. Same thing happens when A is low and B is high. A is 0, B is 1. So here T1 doesn't conduct, T2 conducts. Since one of the transistors do not conduct, current cannot flow from this point to the ground through this path. So once again, all the signals will flow to this point and you get a high output here. So this is how you achieve NAND function using two transistors connected in series. Now NAND gate is also known as a universal gate because an appropriate combination of NAND gates can perform the functions of OR gate, AND gate and NOT gate. Okay. So let's see how is this achieved. First, NAND gate as a NOT gate. So here you can see that the two inputs of the NAND gate are joined together so that it has only one input. So this configuration performs as a NOT gate. Okay. So here your input B is same as A because both are connected together, right? So you have only two possibilities. When A equal to 0, meaning both A and B are 0 and both A and B are 1. So from the truth table we know that when both A and B are 0, output is high, and both A and B are 1, then the output is low. So your output is the inverse of the input. This is your NOT gate. Second one, NAND gate as AND gate. Here you are using two NAND gates. The first one is a normal NAND gate. Then the output of that is given as a common input to another NAND gate. So we know that the second part is a NOT gate. So basically you have a NAND gate. You inverse the output of that NAND gate, so the final output resembles that of an AND gate, right? So we know that the output Y prime of the first NAND gate is the inverted output of an AND gate, right? And the second NAND gate acting as inverter or NOT gate further inverts it so that the final output Y is same as that of an AND gate. So basically here you are doing a double inversion, right? So double inversion gives you the same signal. So that's what you achieve here. So here you get A dot B inverse. You take inverse of that, you get A dot B here. So this is the truth table. So when both A and B are 0, so basically the first part, first three columns are nothing but the truth table of normal NAND operation given here. So 0, 0 gives you 1. 1, 0 gives you 1, 0, 1 gives you 1, 1, 1 gives you 0. Okay. And the final output Y is nothing but inverse of Y prime. So when Y prime is 1, Y is 0. Here also 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So if you look at the inputs A and B and the final output Y, you can see 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. This is nothing but AND operation. You can also construct an OR gate using three NAND gates. Okay, here you can see first two NAND gates are operated as NOT gate and their output is fed to a third NAND gate. Okay, so here Y prime is the output of the first NOT gate. So you can see since input is A, Y prime is nothing but A bar or A complement. And Y double prime is nothing but B complement. Okay, so A complement and B complement are given as input to the final NAND gate. Okay, so let's see how does the truth table lay out here. So when both A and B are 0, 0, Y prime is A inverse 1, Y double prime is B inverse 1. When both the inputs to a NAND gate are 1, then the output is going to be 0. Second, when A equal to 1, B equal to 0, Y prime is 1 inverse 0 and Y double prime is 0 inverse 1. when you have 0 and 1, output is going to be 1. Same way, when inputs are 0 and 1, same way output is going to be 1. Finally, when both the inputs are 1, y prime is 0, y double prime is 0, and consequently the final output y is going to be 1. Now, when you compare the inputs and the final output, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. The output is high if any or all the inputs are high. This is the OR gate operation. The second important combinational logic gate is NOR gate. As the name suggests, this is a combination of OR gate and NOT gate, where the output y prime of the OR gate is connected to the input of a NOT gate. Okay. So from the figure, it's clear that the output of a NOR gate is inverse of that of an OR gate. Right. Now, how does this work out? You have two inputs here, A and B. So the output of this OR gate is going to be y prime equal to A plus B. You feed it to a NOT gate, so the final output is A plus B inverse. So the output is inverse or complement of a normal OR gate. And this is the symbol. So this bubble indicates the inverse operation. And this is the Boolean expression for NOR function. Sorry for the typo here. Let me correct it. So this is the Boolean expression for the NOR function, y equal to A plus B inverse or A plus B complement, and this is read as y equals not A or B. Now let's draw the truth table. So first let's draw the truth table of the OR gate. So when A and B are 0, 0, the output of OR gate y prime equal to 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, what is the final output y? It's nothing but inverse of y prime, right? So when y prime is 0, y equal to 1, 1 gives you 0, 1 gives you 0, 1 gives you 0. Now you look at the inputs A and B and the final output y. 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. This is exactly opposite of the OR gate, right? So the output is high only when all the inputs are low. So this is the truth table of a NOR gate. And just like an AND gate, NOR gate is also constructed using two transistors. Here the main difference is that in the case of NAND gate, these two transistors were connected in series, but here they are connected in parallel. See, the VCC is connected to both T1 as well as T2, right? So if you look at the collectors, both collectors have a common point here, and when you look at emitters, both the emitters have a common point here. Like since there are two common points, this is a parallel connection. Now let's see what happens when both the inputs are low. So when both are low, both the transistors are cut off, they do not conduct, so the current from VCC flow to the point Y and you have a high output. And when both inputs are high, both the transistors T1 and T2, they conduct, so current flows from the positive terminal to the ground through T1 and T2. As a result, no current flows to the point Y, so the output at Y equal to 0. Now if A is high and B is low, so here the base emitter junction is forward bias, so T1 conducts. Here the base emitter junction is reverse bias, so T2 doesn't conduct. But since these two are connected in parallel, even if one of the transistors is conducting, then the current from the positive terminal can flow through that particular transistor towards the ground. So all the current flows through this path, no current comes to the point Y, so output at Y is going to be 0. Similarly, if A is low, B is high, T1 doesn't conduct, T2 conducts. Since these two are connected in parallel, current flows from VCC through T2 towards the ground. Once again, no current comes to this point and you have a low output here. So this is how you construct NOR gate using two transistors connected in parallel. And just like an AND gate, NOR gate also can function like an OR gate, AND gate and NOT gate. First one, NOR gate as NOT gate. This is very similar to NAND gate. Basically, you join together the two inputs of the NOR gate. So this will give you the NOT operation. So if you look at the truth table, when both inputs are 0, output is going to be inverse of that 1. Similarly, when both are 1, output is going to be inverse of that 0. Second, NOR gate as OR gate. This is similar to the construction of AND gate using NAND gate. Okay. So here you have two NOR gates, and first one is the normal NOR gate, and the second one is nothing but your NOT gate. Right. So basically, output Y prime of the first NOR gate is the inverted output of an OR gate, right? And the second NOR gate acting as an inverter further inverts it. So you have two inversion that gives you the signal itself, right? So that the final output Y is same as that of the OR gate, right? So here you have A plus B inverse as the output. Now when you invert that, you get A plus B. So this is going to be the truth table. So first three columns are your regular NOR operation, right? So 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. And when you feed it to the NOT gate, you get one more inverse. So 1 gives you 0, 0 gives you 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So when you compare the inputs A, B and the final output Y, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Output is high if any or all the inputs are high. This is your OR operation. Then NOR gate as AND gate. Once again, this is similar to the construction of OR gate using NAND gate. So you have three NOR gates here. The first two NOR gates are operated as NOT gates, and their operator is fed and their outputs are fed to the third NOR gate. So here Y prime is nothing but A complement, Y double prime is B complement. So when A and B are 0, Y bar, Y double bar, Y prime and Y double prime both are 1, then you feed it to a NOR gate. When both the inputs to the NOR gate are 1, output is going to be 0. So when A and B are 0, output is 0. This is your AND operation. So similarly, you can write down all other input-output values here. The third important combinational logic gate is known as exclusive OR gate or XOR gate. So here output is high only when one of the inputs is high. That's why sometimes XOR gate is also called as any but not all gate. This is the symbol of the XOR gate, and this is the Boolean expression. So this is read as Y equals A XOR B. So let's write down the truth table of the XOR gate. First, let's write down the truth table of OR gate so that it is easy for us to compare. So when A and B are 0, the OR gate will give you 0 output, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now coming to the output of XOR gate, as we defined here, output is high only when one of the inputs is high. So you are going to get a higher output only for the second and third condition. And when both the inputs are low or high, your output is going to be 0. Okay, so this is how you compare the working of an OR gate and an XOR gate. Okay. And this is how you construct an XOR gate using a combination of OR gate, AND gate and NOT gate. So you can see here the output of a NOT gate is given to an AND gate, and the second input comes from this point. So here the inputs are A inverse and B. For this AND gate, the inputs are B inverse and A. Right, and the output of this AND gate y prime is nothing but A inverse dot B, and the output of this AND gate y double prime is A dot B inverse. Now these two are fed to a normal OR gate, right? So the final output is going to be y bar plus y double bar, which is nothing but y prime plus y double prime, which is nothing but A complement dot B plus B complement dot A. Now let's look at the truth table. I will describe the first condition. Both A and B are 0. So A complement is 1, B complement is also 1. Y prime, which is A complement dot B. So A complement 1 dot B, 0 gives you 0. And Y double prime is A, which is 1 dot B bar. A0 dot B bar, 0 dot 1 is 0. And when both Y prime and Y double prime are 0, the output of Y is going to be 0 plus 0, 0. Okay. So similarly, you can construct the remaining of the truth table, and you will find that the output is going to be high only when one of the inputs is high. So these are the three important combinational logic gates. There are two Boolean theorems which are useful in simplifying complicated logical expressions. So these are known as De Morgan's theorems. So they are particularly handy when you are analyzing complicated digital circuits. So De Morgan's first theorem states that A dot B whole complement equal to A complement plus B complement. So in words, what does it mean? The complement of the product is same as sum of the complements. Complement is inverse. Similarly, De Morgan's second theorem, A plus B whole complement equal to A complement dot B complement. Complement of the sum equal to product of the complement. So I mentioned here product and sum just for the sake of simplicity. Actually, when I say product, what I mean is the AND operation, and when I say sum, what I mean is the OR operation. So you should read it, if you are very careful about the convention, you should read it as A and B complement equal to A complement or B complement. Similarly, A or B complement equal to A complement and B complement. Okay, so I hope the idea is clear here. Now, when you look at a complicated Boolean expression, there will be a combination of many operators. So, which operation you perform first and which one you perform last, this is dependent on the operator precedence. So, parenthesis get the first preference, next is not, then and finally or. So when you have a Boolean expression, the expression inside the parenthesis is evaluated first before all others, then the not operation or inverse operation is performed, then AND operation, and finally OR operation. We can illustrate this with an example. Take an expression A plus B complement dot C plus D. Okay. So first preference goes to parenthesis. So whatever is there inside this bracket, this is calculated first. So C plus D or C or D is calculated first. Next preference is for not. So B complement is calculated second. Third preference to AND. So this AND operation will be performed third. So B complement and C or D. This will be evaluated. Finally, the OR operation will be performed. So this product ORed with A, this is calculated. So this is how the precedence of the operator works in a Boolean expression. So you should keep this in mind when you are analyzing when you are simplifying complicated Boolean expressions. There are a set of Boolean theorems which helps you to analyze complicated digital circuit or to simplify complicated Boolean expressions. So there are 9 single variable theorems and 9 more multivariables theorem. Most of them are pure common sense, so let's go through them one by one pretty quickly. So first let's talk about simple variable theorem. A plus 0 equal to A. So you can cross check this very easily by giving values to the variable. Okay. So when I keep A as 1, 1 plus 0, 1 or 0, that is same as 1. Anything ORed with a 0 gives you the same value. On the other hand, if A is 0, 0 plus 0 is once again 0. Second one, A dot 1 equal to A. So give A as 1. 1 dot 1 is 1, 0 dot 1 is 0. Okay. A plus A complement equal to 1. If you keep A as 1, A complement is 0, 1 plus 0 is 1. If you keep A as 0, A complement is 1, 0 plus 1, once again 1. A dot A complement equal to 0. If A equal to 0, A complement is 1, 0 dot 1 equal to 0. If A is 1, A complement is going to be 0, 1 dot 0, once again going to be 0. A plus A equal to A. 1 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 0 equal to 0. A dot A equal to A. 1 dot 1 is 1, 0 dot 0 is also 0. And A plus 1 equal to 1. 1 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 1 is also 1. A dot 0 equal to 0. Finally, A double complement. Inverse of the inverse will be the same. This we have utilized in the case of construction of OR gate using a NOR gate, or construction of AND gate using the NAND gate. So double inversion gives you the same signal. And the multivariable theorems, first one is the commutative law. A plus B is same as B plus A. 1 plus 0 is same as 0 plus 1. Both give you the result 1. A dot B is same as B dot A. 1 dot 0 or 0 dot 1 both gives you 0. And it is associative. A plus B plus C is same as A plus B plus C. Same way A dot B dot C same as A dot B dot C. You can cross check them by giving appropriate values to A, B, C. It's also distributive. A dot B plus C is same as A dot B plus A dot C. Same way A plus B dot C plus D equal to A dot C plus B dot C plus A dot D plus B dot D. Then theorem 16, this is an important one. A plus A dot B is same as A. So the previous results are like pretty obvious. This is not that straightforward. Once again, you can check them by giving appropriate values to A and B. So let me say A equal to 1 and B equal to 0. Now let me check whether I am getting the desired output. So A equal to 1, B equal to 0. So A dot B is going to be 0. So A plus 0 is same as A, right? So this theorem is also correct. And theorem 17 and 18 are nothing but the De Morgan's theorem. A plus B whole complement is A complement dot B complement, and A dot B whole complement is A complement plus B complement. Let's do a couple of problems. Simplify the following Boolean expressions to a minimum number of literals. First one, y equal to A plus A bar B. And from theorem 16, we know that A is A plus AB. So instead of A, I can write A plus AB. Now look at the last two terms. Here B is common. So I can write it as A plus B into A plus A bar. A plus A bar is nothing but 1. Right? That is theorem 3. Right? So B into 1 is B. So Y equal to A plus B. So this is how we simplify this expression to this. Next one, y equal to AB plus A bar C plus BC. Now BC I can write as BC dot 1, and 1 is nothing but A plus A bar. So I can write AB plus A bar C plus BC dot A plus A bar. Now expand this. This is ABC plus A bar BC. Now if you take first term and third term, AB is common, so AB into 1 plus C plus second term and fourth term, A bar C is common, so A bar C into 1 plus B. 1 plus C, anything ordered with 1 is same as 1. So 1 plus C is 1, 1 plus B is 1. So this is AB plus A bar C. Another problem, find the complement of the expression y equal to AB C bar plus A B C whole bar. So you need to find y complement, which is nothing but complement of this whole term. And from De Morgan's theorem, we know that complement of the sum is nothing but product of the complement. So this is nothing but ABC complement whole complement dot ABC complement whole complement. Now, how do you find the complement of this product? Once again, apply De Morgan's theorem. Complement of the product is nothing but sum of the complement. So the first term I can write as A complement plus B complement plus C double complement. C double complement is nothing but C, right? So this dot, here also I am applying the De Morgan's theorem, A complement plus B complement complement, nothing but B plus C complement complement. Once again, this is also C. And can you simplify this further? If you want, you can find the products, but that may not give you an even simpler expression, so you can stop at this point. Let's do one more problem. Simplify the following Boolean expression y equal to A plus B complement plus C plus B plus C complement whole complement. Basically, you need to apply the De Morgan's theorem, which says that complement of the sum is nothing but product of their complements. Okay, so you need to find the complement of the first term and its product with complement of the second term. So what is the complement of the first term? So this is nothing but A plus B bar plus C whole complement dot B plus C bar whole complement. Once again, you need to apply the De Morgan's theorem because you have complement of the products here. This is nothing but, complement of the sum here, which is nothing but product of the complement. So A complement dot B double complement is nothing but B dot C complement. Then you have the dot here. Here once again you have complement of the sum, which is nothing but product of the complement. So B complement dot C. Okay, so this is nothing but a product, right? And you have B dot B bar here and C dot C bar here. So we know that any signal ANDed with its complement gives you 0, right? 1.0 is 0 or 0.1 is 0. So basically these two are 0. So the value of y is nothing but 0. Okay, so this is how you simplify Boolean expressions by using De Morgan's theorem and all other single variable and multivariable Boolean theorems. So with this we come to the end of module 4. Thank you.